Hello, dancers. You've done a wonderful job in the ballet class, so of course it's time for Puppet Story. This is the puppet story for Swan Lake by Peter Tchaikovsky. And at the end of the puppet story, I'm going to ask you to tell me how to say his name. I'll say Peter, and you'll say Tchaikovsky. All right? Let's see here. I can't forget the rules. So we have 3 rules for our puppet story. We have to have a quiet mouth, quiet hands, and a quiet body. That way you can enjoy your reward because you did a good job in ballet and I'm giving you a puppet story to show you how awesome you're doing. And if you're distracted, if you've got a wiggly body or if you've got wiggly eyes or if you've got a talky mouth, then you will not notice your reward. And well, that's not good enough. You deserve your reward. Enjoy it. When the music starts, the rules start. And the music is so beautiful. You can feel all of the feelings of the story through the sounds and the music. You're going to hear one very beautiful sound, an oboe. And when you hear that oboe, that's the sound of Princess Odette appearing on stage. Here we go. You hear that? There's the oboe. Long ago, there was a princess named Odette, and every day that her mother taught her to be a queen, she would go to the lake by her palace and look at the water. She loved it there. It was so beautiful. And on one strange day, a man came to her. She knew him. It was the Count von Rothbart. He pointed a finger and said, "By day, you will be a swan trapped on the lake. You will only come off of the lake at night to dance and dry as a person." She said, "No," and she felt a change in her body. She ran after him to get him to stop it, but he disappeared. And she ran, scared, and her body changed. It got round and her neck got long and she fell on the ground and cried. On the other side of the kingdom, the prince was having his most important birthday, and his mother was throwing him a very big party. She said, "Will you choose a princess bride at your party? You know you can, you're old enough. Do you like anyone?" He said, "No, I don't want that at all. I'm not excited about my party." She said, "Don't be sad, have a crossbow. I know how much you love to hunt birds." And he said, "Can I use it now?" She said, yes. He saw swans flying overhead and he ran all the way to the lake. He aimed his crossbow up in the sky at the prettiest, most glittering big swan he'd ever seen. And when he pulled back the bow, the sun came down and she turned to Odette. She ran to him and said, "Please don't hurt me. I'm not really a swan. I've been cursed by the evil von Rothbart." He said, "I have to help you." She said, "Thank you." And he ran all the way back home. But his mother was throwing that party. She said, "We can't talk now. You need to go meet your guests, the Count von Rothbart and the fascinating daughter Odile." When the prince danced with Odile, he saw in her a swan. She was so like Odette, but somehow different. And Odette was outside, and she was getting his attention in the window as best she could. She was trying to get him to come outside and let him know he's being tricked. And when he ran to her, he said, "I'm sorry, I was tricked." She said, "Thank you for apologizing." He said, "I love you." She said, "I love you." And von Rothbart ran between them and said, "Apart!" Odette said, "He's never gonna leave me alone." She ran all the way up to the cliffside, and when she did, the sun came up, and she changed to a swan, and she jumped. And when Siegfried ran after her, he jumped too. But when von Rothbart jumped after them, he fell on the ground, defeated. And that's the story of Swan Lake by Peter Tchaikovsky. Did you hear that beautiful oboe sound? When we do the puppet story for Peter and the Wolf, you're going to hear the oboe again. I'll tell you which character has it. It's a beautiful instrument. Now, let's practice the name of the composer. That's the person who wrote all that music. And didn't you feel that music in your heart? Oh, it gives me shivers every time. This is by Swan Lake by Peter Tchaikovsky. I say Peter, you say Tchaikovsky. Ready? Peter Tchaikovsky. This time I won't say it with you. Peter. Oh, I'm so proud of you, dancers. What a good job you do. You're in every ounce of the puppet story, and I hope that it's exciting. There will be more. Oh, I love you. Have a wonderful day. And make sure to do something to make people happy today. You've made me happy just by coming in.